everybody, it's AJ from Disney Food Blog. Today we are going back to Epcot to do another food tour, and this is our Nosh or Not. We're going to tell you where to eat and where not to eat in these Epcot pavilions. Today we're covering two pavilions. We're going to go to Canada and Norway because there's really not enough to eat in Canada to make it its own food tour, so we are combining it with Norway. I hope that's okay with all of you. All right, let's get started over in Canada. Like I said, not a lot to eat here, so we're going to talk about smallest to largest. We're going to kind of squeeze as much out of it as we can here. We're going to start at the Canada Merchandise Shop. Now, probably a lot of you have never even been to the Canada Merchandise Shop. You know, there is a shop up there, Northwest Mercantile or something like that. I can't remember what it's called. But in there, you're going to find a lot of maple syrup, a lot of maple sugar candy, and you're going to find some other Canadian branded food items. Sometimes there are some specialty potato chips. You can find a few candy varieties that are exclusive to Canada and things like that. So not a lot going on here food-wise, but if you're into maple syrup or you want some Canadian candy specifically, head on over there. All right, next we're going to go to the little Geoffreys Cart. Now this is the little coffee cart in Canada, and this is pretty standard. The same stuff you're going to kind of find at the other Geoffreys Carts around Disney World. So hot, iced, and frozen drinks. You're going to find seasonal flavors and seasonal beverages. You're going to find some beverages you can add alcohol to as well, like vodka and Baileys. And they have those pastries, including the big old giant Donut King donuts, which we all love. And nearby is the Canada Popcorn Cart. And the popcorn cart, every once in a while, it pops up with some interesting stuff. Oh, I didn't even realize that I was punny there, but there's fresh regular popcorn, and now they've added maple popcorn, so you can get that kind of maple sugar popcorn there. There are a few drinks. You've got Canadian beers, you've got Moosehead on tap usually, and once in a while you can find some infused cocktails or some flavored cocktails as well. So this is the place that'll kind of surprise you. You never know what you're going to get here. And finally in Canada, there's LaSalle, and this is the table service restaurant. This is a signature restaurant. It's 2 table service credits on the Disney dining plan. And you head on through those beautiful Victoria Gardens and get down to LaSalle, which is it's a cellar. It's a little cave kind of situation. Very, very small restaurant. No windows. You are very much kind of in a cellar there, like a wine cellar, of course, is what it's supposed to represent. This is a steakhouse, so there's a lot of steaks on the menu. They always, of course, have some pastas and chickens. They have some vegetarian items as well. They introduced their poutine here a few years ago, and I absolutely adore it. Now, this is not your standard pub grub poutine. It is more of a fancy signature poutine. They've got kind of a red wine gravy that goes over it. They've got that, I believe it's the black diamond cheddar, which I love, on top of their hand-cut fries. They usually have 1 or 2 other varieties of poutine as well, in addition to their kind of signature poutine. Now, the steaks here are wonderful. This is one of my favorite restaurants in Walt Disney World, and it always has been. The filet with truffle butter sauce and mushroom risotto is off the charts amazing. It's so, so, so good. I usually get it every time, and I always ask them for an extra little kind of carafe of the truffle butter sauce because I love that stuff. We've got the recipe for it on Disney Food Blog if you want to check it out. I had the ribeye here on my last visit. Now, I had the ribeye a couple years ago, and I didn't like the maple butter that they put on it, but the ribeye this time around was excellent. So, so good. And I've had the strip steak here. I've had pretty much every steak they have. They don't change very often. What changes is kind of the side dishes and stuff. And they do a pretty decent job with the steaks here. Again, I love this restaurant. Desserts here are going to be, they're getting a little better. They have a maple creme brulee that's been on the menu forever that everybody loves. Oh, and I forgot to tell you, before we go to desserts, let's talk quickly about the cheddar cheese soup. This is amazing. This is one of their appetizers that's been around forever. This is a very savory cheddar cheese soup. It's so, so, so good. You used to be able to get it to go at the podium, but you can't get that anymore, unfortunately. This is the thing that they have at the Epcot Food and Wine Festival every year, too. They bring out this cheddar cheese soup. So really, really good soup. Definitely worth it. And with that, they're also going to serve their bread service, which they usually have some really great pretzel bread and some whole grain bread and other breads that kind of signify the different types of bread that are produced across Canada. Now, here's a quick little awesome thing about LaSalle. The restaurant is actually broken up into different provinces and territories of Canada. So you'll have to ask your server which province or territory you're seated in, and that's kind of fun. So LaSalle, for me, it's always a yes. It's always a must-eat. It's always a nosh. I love this place. A lot of people don't like it because it's too expensive, and it is. It's too expensive for what you get, no doubt, but I really enjoy the food, and for me, it's worth it. I have a nostalgic adherence to LaSalle, and I also really enjoy the food, so I go ahead and pay the prices because I really love it. And of course, a new addition that's not technically Canada, but it's pretty close, so I'm including it, is over there at Refreshment Port. You can currently, when we are publishing this video, can get the LaSalle cheddar cheese soup, and you can also get cheddar cheese soup poutine. So that's some French fries with cheese curds and this awesome cheddar cheese soup over the top of that, which is crazy. They kind of use it as a gravy. So definitely include that in your Canada World food tour if it's still available on your visit. Okay, now we're gonna head over to Norway. Let's talk really quickly about the Norway merchandise shops. Now, of course, you can find candies and chocolates and bagged and individual items at the Norway merchandise shops. You can find some really good ginger snap cookies a lot of the time. They used to sell these salted licorice fish, which were gross. So I'm glad they don't sell those anymore. But they've got some unique items. They do have some sardines for sale if that whole salted fish thing is up your alley. But lots of interesting little things to look at in the merch shops here. Now let's head over to the Norway beer cart. You can get some wine, some Scandinavian beers. Don't forget, you can try that aquavit shot. Aquavit is a very famous liqueur in Scandinavian countries, and it's sort of a licorice taste, an anise or licorice taste. It's strong, it's pretty serious, so you can challenge each other to take that shot. All right, let's head over to my favorite place in Norway, which is Kringle Bakery og Cafe. And this is a teeny tiny little tiny bakery. No seating inside, seating is all outside behind the bakery. But this place has a concentration of excellent items and unique and exclusive kind of classic items that everybody loves at Disney World. These are those secret things you have to know about if you want to be a real Disney fan. So over there, you're going to get school bread, which is, of course, you've heard me talk about school bread before, which is kind of just a vanilla icing and some toasted coconut and a little bit of custard on top. Not too sweet, definitely not too sweet. This is not like a cupcake. It's more like kind of a custard roll, like I said, and I love it. I think it's really, really good. One of my favorites, but it's a love it or hate it. Some people don't enjoy it. Other things you can get here, troll horns, which are filled with lingonberry cream, which is really good. Lefse, which some people love. I hate it. This is sort of they list it as a potato flatbread rolled with a sweet cinnamon butter, which sounds really good, right? But it's not sweet at all. I don't find it to be sweet at all. And it's not really something I loved. Now, one of my readers once told me to ask them to warm it up for you and that it's better that way. But I don't know. To me, this was just kind of a waste of money. I didn't enjoy the lefse, but a lot of people do. So let us know in the comments if that's one of your favorites. I definitely want to hear from you if you like the lefse. Also here they have some Frozen themed treats. If you like the movie Frozen, they've got those. They have some mini cupcakes that kind of look like trolls, which is super cute and things like that. One of my favorites here is going to be the cinnamon loaf. If they have it when you're there, you're going to have to get it because who doesn't want something called cinnamon loaf, right? It's amazing. Really, really good. It's kind of like a cinnamon roll, basically, is what it's going to taste like, but it's killer. They also have some savory items here. They've got Norwegian specialties. They've got salmon and egg sandwiches and some things like that maybe most folks aren't going to be looking forward to in Disney World, but if this is your history, if you love this stuff, go for it. And they also have those Norwegian meatballs, which if you've ever been to IKEA, you know all about their meatballs. So these are served with kind of a lingonberry sauce here at Kringle, which I think they're really good. I really enjoy them. So Kringle is definitely a must eat, a must go. They've got so much good stuff here. Definitely worth a visit for you no matter what. And just note, if you're headed to Disney World between now and the summer of 2018, Kringle is undergoing a refurbishment, so they're going to be closed, but you can get many of the treats that I've just talked about either at their beer cart or over at a temporary kiosk that they're putting out over by the lagoon. So you can check that out, and they should have many of these treats that I discussed while Kringle is undergoing its refurbishment, and it should be open again this summer. And finally, we'll go over to Accras. This is the table service restaurant. This is a character meal, so this has the princesses in it. When you walk inside, you are in a castle. You're kind of in a medieval castle. There's vaulted ceilings and tapestries. It's not as grand as Cinderella Castle, of course. So this is going to be a smaller kind of version, but the same sort of decor elements. Breakfast here is a mix of family style and buffet, and it's quite good. I do really enjoy the breakfast here. Lunch and dinner are prix-fixe entrees, and they include as kind of a small Norwegian buffet with spreads and sliced meats and cheeses and, cold smoked salmon and things like that. They've got the meatballs here as well, of course, and the eats they're going to have a Norwegian flair to them. So breakfast might be your best choice if you have pickier eaters. But again, this is a princess meal, so they're going to have things for everybody because they're trying to draw the kids. price. So Accras is a really nice restaurant. If you're interested in a princess meal, be sure to check out our Cinderella's Royal Table versus Accras versus Bon Voyage breakfast video right here. I would say Accras is worth it in terms of getting into World Showcase early. They open up early for breakfast, and World Showcase otherwise doesn't open until 11. So it's a good way to kind of get in there early, get some neat photographs. Otherwise, the main thing recommending Accras is that if you want those princess autographs and you don't want to pay the prices for Cinderella's Royal Table, then that's kind of where you want to go. All right, so that's Canada and Norway. Those are the things you can get there in our food tours. Please let us know in the comments what your favorites are there, and if you've been watching our food tour series, if there's another pavilion you want us to cover next. Please like this video, subscribe to the channel so you know what's coming up next and you know when we put up a new video, and always leave us comments. Let us know your thoughts. This is AJ for Disney Food Blog, and we'll see you real soon.